we are at 3:31. We are all present, so time to get going. So first order of business is call the meeting to order and roll call. Dana, are you doing? All right.
Councilmember Cloven.
Here.
Councilmember Tillman. Here. Councilmember Trupiano.
Here.
Vice Mayor Diaz.
Yes.
Mayor Juan.
I am here. And I forgot to say that this is the special meeting for today. So next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Are we doing the pledge? All right. Cool. Pledge of Allegiance.
Gotcha.
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next is public comment on non-agenda items. If anyone would like to make a comment on any item that's not on the agenda, now is the time. No, I see no hands in the room. Dana, if there's anyone online.
We do have one hand raised on Zoom. Amy, I will momentarily promote you to panelist. In the meantime, please unmute your microphone. You'll have 3 minutes to address the council.
Thank you, Mayor Juan, Vice Mayor Diaz, and esteemed council members. My name is Amy Heinscheich, and my husband and I have owned our home in the Regency Meadows neighborhood of Clayton since 2012. Recently, I was a planning commissioner for the city of Clayton, and I remember our charge to affirmatively further fair housing. I believe that it is my duty to inform you that as a Clayton resident who loves our community very much, if you capitulate to Mr. Hood and Mr. Walcott's threat of litigation and attempt to halt the Olivia project, it may expose the city to a lawsuit of another variety. So the threat of a counter lawsuit or some other lawsuit seems to not be on the agenda today, and I think that may be an omission. Lawsuits are designed to enforce the laws on the books, and no laws have been broken at this time here for the Olivia project. The law has not changed, but the people in the city council have changed. I cannot help but notice that council members Juan and Diaz voted against the Olivia project initially, even though there was no possible legal angle to deny it. Now that the council members seem to have a majority of the vote, they seem to think that they have a second bite at that apple, but the law does not work that way. Historically underrepresented and marginalized communities have been shut out of places like Clayton, and those places were able to get away with their racist zoning laws that discouraged inclusive practices like embedding affordable units into market rate developments. This type of discrimination is no longer legal, and there are enforcement mechanisms in place to make sure that inclusive developments can get built regardless of NIMBY opposition. The Housing Accountability Unit at the Housing and Community Development Department has a guidance-first approach. You can reach out to them and ask for guidance about how to navigate this situation. They can guide you about how to comply with your charge to affirmatively further fair housing. Please do not capitulate to NIMBY claims that will only cost our city money in the end. It was reported by Ms. Tamara Steiner of the Pioneer, that Mr. Jordan has an indemnification clause with the city that helps defend the Olivia project from the types of lawsuits that Mr. Hood and Mr. Walcott threaten. Do not give in to this type of posturing, especially when doing so could bankrupt our city. Thank you in advance for your consideration to this important matter.
Thank you. Dana, are there any other folks with their hands up?
No, we do not have any other speakers with hands raised.
Okay, then I will close public comment. Because the next item is a closed session, immediately after this, we will be terminating the Zoom. So for those who may be on Zoom, the Zoom feed will end, the session will end, and you are welcome to join the remainder of the meeting on the live feed at the city's website. It will not show anything until we return from closed session, so just as an FYI. So the next item is item 4. It is a closed session, so I would invite the members of the audience that they can exit, and that would be great.
Mayor, we were thinking it would be easier potentially to do it back at City Hall in the conference room if the council was agreeable to that.
And just to be clear, we need to take public comment on the closed session item, so I
Is
don't
it
know.
before or after?
Before we take the item, and I'm happy to just give a brief staff report, and then you can take public comment on the closed session item, and then anyone in the audience who may want to speak can speak, and then anyone on Zoom who wants to speak can speak, and then we'll go into closed session.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, so that's fine with me.
Okay, great.
So then I guess we will move to closed session, and feel free to kick us off, and then we can take public comment.
Thank you, Mayor. As you are aware, and as indicated in my staff report, on September 5th, we received correspondence from Mr. Hood and Mr. Walcott threatening litigation based on the city's apparent lack of enforcement of the conditions of approval for the Olivia project and violation of city ordinances. And they planned to sue the city to force compliance, as noted in the correspondence attached to the staff report. Based on this, we are having a closed session to discuss anticipated litigation. That's the end of my staff report.
Thank you. All right, public comment on this item? Okay, I see no hands raised in the audience. Dana?
There are no hands raised on Zoom for this item.
Okay, thank you. Then I will close public comment on this, and we will move into closed session. So thank you very much for attending. Okay, it is 4:54. We are returning from closed session. There are no reportable items. The next item is adjournment. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the council is September 19th. Meeting is adjourned at 4:55. Thank you.